Hello and welcome to the complete course of Azure Machine Learning. In our last lecture, we have uh, learned more about how to register the model. So we have registered the model and also seen it in the portal with a different versions, with a different name of how do we mention the name of the model, right? Once the model has been registered, now it's a time to deploy the model. So there are the following steps that we need to follow. The first one is to prepare the scoring and prediction script. So in scoring or prediction script, you will write a script in a Python wherein you just load the pickle file which you have created during the process of a training, and then you will unload this and pass the data, the inference data into it so that it will do the prediction. So once the scoring script is ready, you will create an inference environment. So what is inference environment? The inference environment is an environment which is used for the prediction. So the inference environment would be basically used for the production environment. So you have trained the model. Now you have unseen data on which you need to make a prediction. However, there might be the chance that what all the library which you have installed during the training process would not be required during the production. So, and always the production environment would be the separate, right? At least for the predictions. So we will create a inference or a prediction environment separately, what all the libraries are required for the inference and what all the dependencies library you need to import. So once that is done, the third step is to define the inference config. So what is inference config? So inference config is the configurations wherein you will encapsulate your scoring script into a form of configuration wherein you will just pass this configuration file while deploying it. So during the deployment, it will the Azure would aware of from where you need to pick your scoring script, what would be the path, and what other configuration is required for the scoring. So that is what all the configuration for the scoring would be kept at a configuration level. So that is the step number 3. The fourth step is a very important step. So once your configuration is ready, you need to decide what would be your compute target, where you want to deploy a model. So there are few of the compute targets like whether you want to deploy your model into AKS, that is the Azure Kubernetes Service. If you are deploying it into a production, yes, I would suggest that this is the best part that you will deploy a model into a Kubernetes service. But if it would be for a training, development, testing, or a staging, then it would always be better because it will not require a lot of cost. Then you can deploy it into an ACI container, that is Azure Container Instance. And if it would be a multi-cluster environment, then you will use a compute cluster. Or if it would be for a development or for a training purpose, you can execute for the local web service where you just deploy it locally. However, we will in this particular lesson we will see how do we deploy it in a Azure container instance, right? So once that is done, you need to pass all this configuration to deploy the model, and once the model has been deployed, your endpoint would be created, and then the next step is how to consume the endpoint from the data what you are having it, and you need to do a prediction on. So that's all for this particular lecture. And next lecture, we will see how to write a scoring script. Thank you.